desperately need the rainbow.
All right, Albert. He comes and goes on a rainbow. How about it for the great culture blaster? Michael Snyder is in our midst, everyone. Yes.
Hey, hi, guys. Glad to be back and back after being back. Anyway, crucial playoff game tonight for my Golden State Warriors in Los Angeles at the former Staples Center, now known as Crypto.com Arena. And I have a fun fact for you. They were originally going to rename it Pyramid Scheme Arena, but thought that would be a little too on the nose.
How dare you? I'm waiting for my crypto to bounce back.
Good luck. Anyway, go Dubs. I'm excited about the game tonight. It's an elimination game, and obviously we are on tenterhooks. We hope things go well. You want to get to some movies?
I'd love to, Michael. I'd love to. What do you have
Let's
for
do
us?
that. I'm hot on the heels of the sharp and entertaining movie about the rise of the video game Tetris and the driven guy who pushed to make it happen. Blackberry
That was
is
a good
here.
movie.
I love Tetris, and now we have Blackberry, another delicious mix of comedy and real-life tech business shenanigans, okay? Blackberry, which is an incredibly effective, no-frills production, recounts the 1999 creation and the subsequent ascent and crash of what is widely considered the first smartphone. And that would be, of course, the Blackberry, the invention of brilliant but socially awkward Canadian computer nerd Mike Lazaridis, his slacker pal Doug, and their scruffy crew. For all their groundbreaking smarts, their, we'll call it laissez-faire style is instantly in conflict with the vicious, shark-like behavior of Jim Balsillie, a nasty but seemingly effective management type who weasels his way into the role of their CEO and helps catapult BlackBerry to massive success for a time. I mean, does anyone remember those heady pre-iPhone days when the BlackBerry ruled the cell phone market? Even if you don't, it's a treat to watch these knuckleheads turn the tech world on its head. The movie, which has a workplace documentary vibe, was neatly and skillfully directed and co-written by Matt Johnson, who is also quite funny in the role of Lazaridis' compadre, Doug. And Doug may or may not be an amalgamation of two or more actual BlackBerry staffers, but that doesn't matter. It's Jay Baruchel, and he's wonderful as the in over his head genius Lazaridis, and Glenn Howerton as the driven and unscrupulous Balsillie, who elevate BlackBerry to true heights. And there are no slouches in the supporting cast, which also includes Carrie Elwes, Saul Rubinek, and Michael Ironsides. So while it provides laughs and surprises and some late 90s, early 2000s nostalgia, BlackBerry is a bittersweet taste of high-tech history that can serve as a cautionary tale about the general unpredictability and heartlessness of businesses big and small. Highly recommended. BlackBerry is in theaters.
Wow. Wow. I love it. Great. We got a lot of comments in the chat. Everyone had a BlackBerry. I miss my BlackBerry. Ron Owens is a big BlackBerry guy. I was too. In fact, the BlackBerry keyboard was the key. I could literally, I could write an email while I was at dinner, never having to look at the keyboard because you could just tell it by touch. Now you can't do that.
They make a big deal about the satisfaction of the clicking sound when you typed on the BlackBerry. We got to have the clicking sound. People have to be able to hear themselves typing.
Yeah. It was really something. Anyway, that's so. And you like this offering, so
very much. Okay, moving on. Although he's made many movies in his career as an independent-minded filmmaker, Robert Rodriguez's early pictures are the best of them. He has yet to match the charm and inventiveness of the first installment of the fun and family-friendly Spy Kids. The emotional weight of the Wild West love story Desperado, the genre thrills of the vampire flick From Dusk to Dawn, or the over-the-top explosiveness of his tribute to B-movies Grindhouse and the machete action films with the legendary Danny Trejo. So the latest from Rodriguez is Hypnotic, which is the title, not my review, just in case you're wondering. For Hypnotic, the screenwriter-director leans on the star power of Ben Affleck as his lead in the story of Danny Rourke, an Austin, Texas cop whose daughter has been missing for a few years. Rourke's investigation takes some mind-bending turns as he encounters a foe with what seems to be the hypnotic ability to warp perception and force people to do his bidding. Thinking this mastermind knows something about the missing daughter, Rourke turns to a psychic played by Alice Braga to assist in the search. And of course, all is not necessarily what it seems. All is not logical either. And like elements of Christopher Nolan's more recent movies, the rules of Hypnotic get so muddy and gratuitous in this world of illusion that you may shrug and say, WTF, or you may just think you're shrugging and saying WTF because, you know, Hypnotic. Anyway, it has its moments, but it's less clever and less mesmerizing than it wants to be. Not bad, but in theaters, streaming seems like a better bet if you're interested in Hypnotic.
All right.
Okay, let's turn the page.
Gratuitous is a dang word, by the way.
Of course
we have a bunch of them, though.
Time to turn the page to a sequel entitled Book Club, the next chapter. Get it? Turn the page, Book Club. Anyway, I have to be honest. I didn't see the original Book Club, or if I did, I don't remember it. And to be even more honest, I kind of wish I didn't see Book Club, the next chapter. Despite the return of the first movie's stars, who happen to be the generally revered actresses Diane Keaton, Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, and Mary Steenburgen, this is pretty puerile stuff that trades in on the goodwill earned over the lengthy careers of the quartet. As much as I appreciate and respect the empowerment of showing the sexual and romantic desire of women in their golden years, the narratives given to the members of the group on an Italian bachelorette getaway are overly familiar and written in a kind of a rote manner. Fonda's experienced sophisticate is reluctant to marry her lover, played by Don Johnson, and she doesn't want to mess up a good thing. Keaton's typically high-strung neurotic wants to marry her boyfriend, played by Andy Garcia, but fears he's uninterested. Steenburgen's loyal, conventional wife to suburban exec type, played by Craig T. Nelson, is tempted by the one who got away in Italy. And Bergen's retired judge is over-romanced but happy to spar with an Italian policeman played by Giancarlo Giannini. How's that for star power? Yeah. International style. All of these stars are notoriously appealing, although Keaton can get on my nerves these days. And Italy is a lovely setting, but the jokes are groaners at best. And the neat way the screenplay tries to wrap up all the storylines borders on ridiculous, like the broad, sorry to use the word broad, unfunny sports comedy 80 for Brady, which featured Fonda with three other ladies of a certain age. Book Club, the next chapter, does its stars no favors except to give them much needed and much deserved screen time. And in case you think that I'm just not interested in movies about the hijinks of senior women, I should remind you that I liked Fonda and her gal pal Lily Tomlin in the recent dark comedy Moving On. So that's, look, I'm going to close the book on Book Club, the next chapter, and hope it's the last chapter. It is in theaters.
Golden Girls meet Sex in the City where they stop at the home, says M. Oak.
That's probably fair. All right, let's switch things up a little. The new drama Monica has a serious, deeply personal sensibility to it that is enhanced by wonderful performances from its cast, led by actress Trace Lysette, who some might know from her memorable stints on the award-winning dramedy Transparent, or the bracing Patrick Stewart sitcom Blunt Talk, which too few people saw, by the way. I believe it was on Epix. Anyway, Lysette plays Monica, who was born male and transitioned to a woman years ago. After 2 decades away, she returns home to the Midwest when she gets word that her mother, Eugenia, is dying. Mom is played by the ever-great Patricia Clarkson, who, as usual, delivers a stirring turn as someone who loved her youngest son but was incapable of accepting Monica, causing the split between them. Emily Browning, the Aussie actress from a few things, including Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, plays Monica's sister-in-law, who reaches out to Monica when Eugenia's illness escalates, and Joshua Close plays Monica's older brother, Paul, who had issues of his own with his siblings' change and departure, but it's Lisette holding it all together as Monica, someone whose life has been racked with pain and rejection, but is also someone determined to be her true self, even as she tries to reconcile with the mother who cast her out. Lisette is note perfect here in a cinematic portrait that's powerful, tender, and emotionally honest. Monica was directed and co-written by Andrea Palaoro, who did a superb job. It is in theaters.
Wow, I'll tell you, that sounds really intriguing and something I'd like to see. I feel like this world of transitioning and the confusion often and just the conversations we're having around gender, I feel as though I can learn a lot, to be honest, just personally. And so this is fascinating based on your summary and description. It sounds like there are a lot of these psychological undercurrents that I would think are real and are reflected in real conversation and real lives that probably inspired this story.
Well, I don't want this to sound too much like a lesson. It's just a very good drama. And again, Lisette is a very good actress. And, you know, there's a verity she brings to it because of her own experiences, I would think. And again, it's in theaters.
It's in theaters. Albert, verity is definitely a ding word, true, as is puerile. That's a ding word also. Go ahead, Michael, please.
We do what we can. Should we wrap up, guys?
I'll take one more.
Fool's Paradise. Written, directed, and starring Charlie Day of the long-running sitcom It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and The Horrible Bosses and Pacific Rim movies, is a mild satire about a nebbishy, mentally challenged nobody who attains accidental stardom in Hollywood. This movie wants to be a mix of the player, being there, even a face in the crowd, and Day seems to want to channel the slapstick goofiness of Rowan Atkinson's Mr. Bean with bits of Jacques Tati, Jerry Lewis, and Roberto Benigni thrown in.
Wow.
And it has moments courtesy of Day and some of his co-stars, who include some high-powered names: Ken Jeong as a publicist on the make, Adrian Brody as an arrogant actor in conflict with the Day character, Kate Beckinsale as a famous actress, plus Jason Sudeikis, Edie Falco, Jason Bateman, Common, and John Malkovich in cameos, wow. and the late Ray Liotta as the producer who discovers Day's character. But despite this very seasoned cast and Day's game lead performance that tries to mix knockabout comedy with sweetness and sadness, this frequently falls flat. It's been done before and done better, but Day is definitely a skilled clown with evidence of movie-making chops, and I think he should give a hyphenate project, you know, actor, director, screenwriter, another go. It's in theaters, but more of a streaming thing if it's something that you decide you must see. Fool's Paradise.
Well, Fool's Paradise sounds chock full of talent, although it sounds as though it might have just left you a little short of the mark, as you were saying, so wait for it on streaming. Monica, with Trace Lisette playing Monica, Patricia Clarkson playing the mom. Michael really liked it and recommends it. It's in theaters now. Book Club, the next chapter, that's with Fonda, Diane Keaton, Steenberg, and the rest. He didn't like it. And he says, Michael is quick to emphasize that he is not against those older actors. In fact, has loved some of their projects of late, but just felt as though Book Club, the next chapter, misses. Hypnotic, which stars Ben Affleck. It sounds intriguing. Michael was not over the moon for it. He says it's not bad, but it's in theaters as well. And then Blackberry sounds to me like one of the films in this visit that he most liked. And it tells the story of the rise and then the crash of the Blackberry technology. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, that's streamable or that's in theaters, Blackberry?
That's in theaters, and it's shot again in kind of a faux documentary style, and it is based on a true story, but with some fictionalized elements. It is going to be great to watch at home, but, you know, I want to support a film like this, so if you are a theater goer and are interested in the topic, I would check it out. I also want to quickly note, we talk about TV stuff occasionally. Mrs. Davis on Peacock is a fun and sometimes funny dystopian sci-fi and social commentary series about a youngish, tough-ass nun, a nun played by Betty Gilpin from Glow, versus a purportedly benevolent, globally powerful AI that's trying to exert control over everybody's lives. It is crazy, and I've been completely addicted to it. Mrs. Davis on Peacock.
Wow. Okay, great. I'm loving it. Thanks for that recommendation. Michael, go Dubs. As you say, it's an elimination game. Lakers look very tough, I have to say. It's always tough to repeat, and the Dubs are finding that out. But the Dubs are still so much fun to watch play.
And Mark, don't forget, we got the Corgi. We got the Corgi on our side. So.
Yeah, the Corgi suggests that the Dubs win this game and the next, but we really, really don't know. And it could be that the Corgi could be from L.A. It could be some kind of bait and switch thing. I have no idea.
The Corgi video was awesome. Albert showed it to me, and I just loved it.
And it's really exactly what this series has been doing. That's what's crazy.
No, that's right. This Corgi rolls this ball down, and it lands exactly with the scores that have hit so far in this series.
Do you think the Corgi correctly predicted the somewhat internal strife we have between our players, like Jordan Poole and Draymond Green? Do you think the Corgi predicted that as well?
It depends. Has the Corgi punched anybody lately?
Well, there are a lot of Corgi follow-up questions. Michael, if you'll please, I don't know if you're standing, please be seated. I'm about to bestow upon you the rod of equity and mercy. So prepare to receive it.
Receive the rod of equity and mercy.
All of our regular contributors.
I am highly honored, and if people want to actually honor me further, go to marinatimes.com and read my piece about Perry Mason, Jean-Luc Picard, and Superman, which is currently available for your delectation, TV lovers.
Delectation's a ding word also. He leaves us with a ding word. Very impressive offering. Marina Times, and your writing is always a favorite of mine. We'll see you next Friday, and until then, he comes and goes on a rainbow. Bye-bye, Culture Blaster, Michael.
Go Dubs!
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.